How to trade XAUUSD, or commonly known gold, is the topic of today's video, and I will share with you my best gold trading strategy that I traded last month, and I keep trading with it because it brings great results. It is super simple to apply, and I prefer to trade with the robot on MetaTrader, which I will include down below in the description so you can download it for free and test it yourself. And I will explain this gold trading strategy on TradingView if you decide to trade it manually. So let me go straight to the point. I will move to my computer, and before I do that, I will ask you again to smash the like button because it is vital for the YouTube algorithm. Alright, I'm kidding, it is important just for me. So thank you guys so much for doing that, and huge thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Black Bull Markets, but more on that later. Now if you're ready to see my best gold trading strategy, let's go straight to the point. Hi, my name is Petko Alexandrov. I hope you have an amazing day, and today I'll share with you my best trading strategy for gold that you can apply on TradingView or on MetaTrader with a robot. So I have on the left side the daily chart, and on the right side I have the M15 chart without any indicators, and I want you to ignore the daily chart. This strategy trades only on M15. The first indicator I will add is the accelerator oscillator, and there are a few, but I use this one from Everget, and it is very visual. If I zoom, you will see that it clearly displays in green when the AC is above the zero line, and it's in red when the AC is below the zero line. And pretty much that's all with the accelerator oscillator. It has no parameters, just the zero line, and this is what I use in this strategy. So the buy signal with that strategy comes whenever the accelerator oscillator crosses the level line downwards. So right in here we have a signal to buy, as well in here, which obviously is a very good signal. You can see where we would buy at the opening of this candlestick, right? So the cross happened on this candlestick. You can see exactly where it is. We have the AC above the zero line. The next one is below, and the confirmation comes at the opening of the next candlestick. So right in here we have a long position, and let me put one on the chart, and I will share with you exactly what is the stop loss and what is the take profit. The entry in this case is at the opening of the bar, which means it is 1746. Let me go to the settings, and I will leave it to 1746. Then as a take profit we have $80 from the gold price, or with that random example that I just picked, it would be 1826, and then the stop loss would be 1739.5. I think I calculated it right. Yep, $6.50 below the opening, and you can see that the take profit with this example was hit a little bit earlier, or not yet. Actually, it's not yet. Okay, the price sits at 1798. I picked that trade super randomly. Okay, so whenever you have such a signal, this is how you should place the trade. For example, right over here, it would be hitting the stop loss, right? We have a cross downwards from the AC, and then the stop loss would be hit. However, with the next one, the one I just demonstrated, we would be on a good profit. But one more time, we need to see one bar as confirmation. At the opening of the next one, we should place the trade. A very good risk reward ratio of 12.31, which is the type of strategy many traders are looking for. However, it's not just stop loss and the take profit, but we have an exit condition from the Bollinger Bands. So I'll hit on indicators, and I will look for Bollinger Bands, and I will click on it. Then I will go to the settings of the indicator, and instead of the default 20 as a length, I'll be using 12, and deviation would be 3.8. Now we should exit a long trade whenever we see a bar that opens above the upper band. And with that current example, we don't have one. Okay, we should see an impulsive move, and whenever we see a bar that opens above the bands, we should exit. Let me look for such an example. That happens quite rarely, if I have to be honest, but if there is an impulsive move and the price breaks through and we see a bar that opens above the upper band, we should close the trades. And it happens with these impulsive moves. Just when we look back on the chart, the Bollinger Bands are repeating. Now keep in mind that the very opposite thing applies for the short trades. We need to see the AC crossing the zero line upwards, so we have a short trade, and as an exit we should see the price below the lower band of the Bollinger Bands. And I will leave it on you to decide if you want to keep just stop loss and take profit, or you want to use the Bollinger Band as an exit condition. And before I show you the backtest of this strategy and how it performs, let me tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Black Bull Markets. It is a broker that I've been using personally for quite a long time. It offers popular symbols like Forex, commodities, crypto, and you can choose between different types of accounts depending on the amount you are planning to trade with. But the most important is that it is a regulated broker, and you can check out the regulation at the bottom of their website. However, there are plenty of scam brokers who will pretend to be regulated, and they will place fake company registration numbers and regulators. So it's very important for you to check if the brand is actually regulated on the regulators page. For example, if you are in the UK, look for FCA regulated brokers. If you are in Australia, New Zealand, look for brokers like Black Bull Markets who are regulated for that area, and you should be able to find the company's number and check the address and see if this is actually a truly regulated broker. More, we have placed a few brands on our website to help everyone who struggles to find a regulated broker. And if you scroll down the page, you will see plenty of brokers that are regulated, and I have personally used. Black Bull is on the top at the moment because they added TradingView, and it's a brand that offers MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, TradingView, and this gives me the chance to trade with one broker on the different platforms, which is super comfortable. And my team has written a detailed review about the brand, and we try to be as transparent as possible, so we have mentioned all the pros and cons. And if you decide to use TradingView, they have the free TradingView Pro subscription, which means that if you fund an account, you will be able to use TradingView Pro for free, which saves a lot of money at the end of the day if you are trading with the platform for the long term. I'll drop a link down below in the description. So thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video, and with that being said, let me go back to the strategy. As I said, you can trade gold with that strategy on TradingView manually, but I personally prefer algorithmic trading on MetaTrader, and you see that right in front of me. I have a live account for Euro-Dollar where I've been trading with a portfolio expert advisor, and actually I already published that video. I'll drop it in the corner so you can check it out and get this portfolio expert advisor for free. However, I want to show you the backtest for this gold strategy, and I have already attached it on the chart. I will right click, I will go to expert advisors, and I will hit on strategy tester. Now before you run the backtest, make sure you press the home key on your keyboard to load the maximum bars as possible, and you will see that in this case MetaTrader gives me bars since the beginning of November, or that's about 1 month. And if I click on start, the backtest will be completed quickly, and in the results I can see all trades that opened and closed. And from profit, you can see that quite often we hit the stop loss, which is about $67. But because I am trading with 0.1 and gold, stay with me here, this is very important, gold has contract size of 100, which means that one lot traded on MetaTrader equals to 100 ounces of gold. If I'm trading with 0.1, this means I'm trading with 10 ounces of gold. And if I trade with 0.01, then I would have negative $6.50-70 depending on the spread of the broker. But what happens when one take profit is reached? Boom, nearly $800. And if I scroll lower, you will see that one more time we have 288, and actually this is the most current trade. Just the backtest closes the last trade. As you can see that this trade was opened on the 1st of December yesterday at 1 a.m. would be right over here, so that's midnight. And yeah, okay, so you see we have the crossing, and then the next bar that opens, it is at 1 a.m. and then if I move it, let me show you. That's pretty interesting because it matches perfectly on MetaTrader backtester and the strategy indicators on TradingView. So at the opening of that bar, that would be right in here. Okay, you see here is the cross at the opening. Actually it's the previous one, sorry, that one over here. Yep, at the opening of that bar, we have a clear confirmation that the AC crossed the level line downwards, and currently this position is still on a profit, not reaching the take profit, but we are on a profit. And the backtester just closed the position with $288 of a profit. This is the graph, but we don't have a lot of trades, like 12 trades. If I go to the report, you will see 12 trades, because we have data just from the 1st of November. However, if I show you how that strategy looks on the strategy builder AI studio that I'm using, you will see data starting from 2014, because here we have way more bars to backtest the strategies. And it's a nice visual representation of the strategy. Accelerator, oscillator as an entry rule, the Bollinger Bands as an exit rule, stop loss and take profit and pips. This is the balance chart, pretty stable one, and this is the indicator chart. So if I go through the indicator chart, you will see that most of the time the stop loss will be hit, but when take profit is hit, we have a very decent result. So here we have one long losing trade, stop loss was hit, short losing trade, stop loss was hit, and then long profitable trade, and you see that it went on a profit for quite a long time. Now if I go to the statistical information, you will see that the return to drawdown is 6.16 at the end of the day, and we have profit factor of 1.48, which means that we have more profits than losses at the end of the day. The strategy does really well on Monday and Tuesday, of course, as well during the rest of the days, but you see that the long trades on Monday are performing the best. Monthly performance, okay, which is very important. There will be losing periods with the strategy, but we have more winning months at the end of the day. It's a pretty decent strategy. I'll drop a link to the robot down below in the description so you can download it, backtest it with your broker, and see if this will be a strategy you want to trade with. And you're welcome to modify the strategy the way you want. Maybe you want to increase the stop loss, that's okay, but make sure you perform a backtest and see better results from what I just showed. Of course, I would accept the fact that you can improve the strategy. I'd be super happy if you share it with me down in the comments, but I do my best using the strategy builder to find the right stop loss and the right take profit based on huge historical data and based on a lot of analysis. So these parameters that are in the robot and in the strategy are optimized to work perfectly for the indicators in the strategy. I hope all of that makes sense. If not, just watch the video again and I will see you in the next one. If you want to grab another gold trading robot, check this video, because you will be able to download a totally different strategy with a different robot, and this way you will diversify the risk. Thank you for watching and I wish you a wonderful day. Don't forget that I love you. We'll see you soon.